Okay. Look, I'm ready. I'm already ready. Okay, we are in the final part of the trial on the final day. We're almost done with this case, which means we're almost done with game one. So I'm going to make this last little crackery sandwichy thing. I'm going to eat it. And then I have half a piece of bacon I can go give to Bird. You all ready? You ready? 2024, we got to finish this case still. When I see case 64, 101%. I think 101% might cause me to go a little psychotic. So we are going to have a conversation, chat. We are going to have a conversation about the incentives that I have written down. What we actually really care about. And I'm going to set like an arbitrary number that I think will be a good indicator of if we want to continue on with these incentives or just carry on with our lives. So yeah, we're going to do that. Okay. Hi, sorry, Edgeworth. Oh, right. We just basically were like, oh, hey, Emma killed this dude. Like old incentives, like from the last couple years. We're going to come back and have a chat where it's like, hey, here's our list of incentives. Like, what the fuck do you actually care about, you all? And if I don't get like a certain amount of votes or something on them, we'll probably just pass them up. Because if we have like even like one person being like, that would be cool, it doesn't make it worth it. Not that like your opinion, like the one person's opinion is not important or matter, but these are things that are being done for the community, and I want to make sure there's enough people in the community that care. So, we'll see. Anyway, there's a bit more to it, but yeah. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around while on duty, and to top it all off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lana's having you run errands again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. There. She asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. 2 rules of evidence law. Is that right? Seems so. Chief Prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. Message? She said if you're planning to take him on, you're gonna need this book. Damn, I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat. Despite all these allegations being thrown at me. Mr. Edgeworth, the real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility has been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Skye found out she unwittingly caused a man's death. And now, you're telling me you want to do more? You gotta be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him. No matter what it takes. Thank you. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Edgeworth knows too. Hey. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness, but, this isn't easy to say. You see, there's some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witness. I didn't say that. Just, you see, everyone has been talking, and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution, that being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? There's no precedence for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. And it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. The defense calls... The time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. Oh, so I have to bring out Gant, I guess. That's what you're hinting at. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant, what does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. Frickin' music. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto! What's with a grim face? First, let's clear up this SL-9 incident. Oh, you mean the time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There's still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. Both. Both at the same time. This is still Wright's 5th case and the 4th one that Edgeworth has seen, and Edgeworth is fully trusting me. If that's not love, I don't know what is. Yeah. Dude, he loves him. Just ask him on a date already. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure. Take my testimony, for example. Are you threatening me, sir? I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has a right to refuse to testify. Rules for submitting evidence. Just want to look at this. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well, the witness may now begin his testimony. Damn. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, he slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she'd already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Disagree? That when Dark was arrested. Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. When I'm sent Neil flying, seems Dark had bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. The police chief has the right to refuse to testify, and I'd better hit him as hard and fast. Hit him hard and fast, baby. Press X to doubt. You literally press X to doubt in this. Yo, Reggie, thank you for the 4 months.
To the fruit basket, that's weird.
As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day. Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. It's probably what spooked Dark and made him run away like that. Was the defendant Lana Skya also present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Dark ran for it. So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first, so Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. Is this about a power outage? Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden, and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil was when that knife went into his heart, though. Wow, that's rude. That's not funny. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Dark was also lying collapsed. Oh, Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor? Yes, apparently he hit his head as knocked out. Okay. Next to them were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. Apparently she... Okay. How can you... Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. How can you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means... You found the body near Lana's desk. That's right. I think you said earlier. It was my suit of armor. That really stabbed the prosecutor? Yes. Anyway. Since it had nothing to do with the forgery. So you're saying that the forgery had already been taken place by the time you arrived at your office. That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt. But moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable, no matter what the circumstances. Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you'd be better off staring at the court record. Or were they always a smooth talker? But which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence. But that can't be the whole truth. Somehow, I've got to link Gant to the incident. I mean, we have the shit we found in his safe. What's up, Zachraz? We just started with the final half of the final day of this case, the trial. It's a lot. I'm going to present the evidence list, and if that doesn't work, this is probably it. Yeah. If you really had nothing to do with the forgery, then how do you explain this? What's that? What's that on it? A handprint? Chief Gant, your explanation, please. I don't know. You tell me, son. Huh? My dear Righto, don't you know the second rule of evidence law? Oh, not this again. Rule number 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Tell me, how is that rag relevant to this trial? We have we know whose fingerprints it is. It appears the defense was not prepared. I guess it's too early to use this piece of evidence. Please accept my profound apologies, Chief. Would you mind giving the defense another chance? Well, okay, I'll do just this once. But only because you asked, Udgy. I assure you the defense is terribly sorry. Ha ha ha, yeah, sorry I didn't nail you. We can try this one. This is also found in there. Oh, maybe this is actually it. I didn't lose any health. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example. The list Emma Sky drew a picture on. This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of this jar that was sitting in your office was found inside your safe. Somewhere. You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. I don't know why I didn't lose health, but whatever. What's the meaning of this? Oh! There's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery? Oh, me? Or do you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who stuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Righto? We have detective proof. However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. So we have a witness. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment. What? Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Yes, well, in the light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put 2 and 2 together. Look at him. Threatening us. He's constantly threatening us. Let's see. What was it now? Jar fragment in a list. For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Shit. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Investigating the crime scene. You should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Oh. Indeed, I believe I will press charges. So you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief. Would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, you know. All right, Eddie. In return, though. I know. That place, right? What are these guys? Telepathic? Yeah, he fired him. So he's probably going to try to press charges, I guess. so funny, all passed out. See his little head on the ground? Could have planned him in my office. I'd appreciate it if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. What? I'll have you know, back in the day, I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped... Mr. Wright, what are you saying? Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? If you have proof to the contrary, you're gonna need it later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? Talking about when Wrighto's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal. I've never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. I feel like I can. What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. Concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery. I'm not through speaking yet, Righto. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced. Yeah, wouldn't the station have security cameras? Seriously. Oh, wouldn't that be convenient? Right. The chief is talking about a possibility, so as long as you can't rule that out, your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Tell me something I don't know. Come now, Righto! Think about it. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. This is annoying. I don't like dealing with this guy. It's just annoying. How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember, who was it that murdered Neil? I'm sure I care for the word murder here, but in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was this guy. Well, now do you see? Wouldn't help you out anyway. Yes, it would. Really, Chief can't. At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all of this. Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That, of course, would be the position you have. Chief of Police. The resolution of the SL-9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Ho ho ho! Oh, that's a good one! Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without the case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL-9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes, he was going to be made chief anyway. Careful when pointing that finger. You might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. You didn't do it for yourself, and you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There. It's all in the open now. But would you mind if I change my testimony a little? By all means, please do. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. Okay. Kent isn't the one who murdered Prosecutor Marshall 2 years ago. Yet I know he played a part in the forgery. That can only mean someone asked him to be an accomplice. Damon Gant, someone's accomplice. Sounds unlikely. Nothing in it for you? Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you better think again. You're right, you don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Ho, ho, ho! That's a good one, Worthy. Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Yes. Let's try. True, you might not help out anyone for their sake, but if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's not what I mean. Very well then, who is this person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence? Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky. The defendant? I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL-9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed Chief Prosecutor at the Prosecutor's Office. The person who arranged this job was you, Chief Gant. But how would he profit from all this? He would be able to use the Chief Prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. You mean to tell me that despite the Chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Oh my god, the judge is so stupid! Judge. Oh, wait. You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Okay. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence! Your motive to appoint her as Chief Prosecutor so you could control her. Right, oh my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? You have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana, she's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I mean, she would now, right? What else could he do? We already found out that Emma accidentally killed this dude. So, like, why else would she be controlled anymore? We kind of saved the reason, right? I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture. Unless that is also what happened in this incident. Which one would that be? Of course, I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The Chief Prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you better watch your tongue. No one wants you to get hurt. Just what do you mean? Stop threatening us! What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest-ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the Chief of Police of blackmail and murder? That's it. Impossible! High five. We're getting there. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier-to-understand language. Too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. Looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? The chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder. Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. All right, then. I see. It's about to test me. Okay, say some. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. Now I feel like it's this. Well, Chief, so long as Righto here is tossing out things regardless of their relevance, mind if I toss something too edgy? This shoe should do nicely. I'll chuck it right at you. You always were quite the joker. Oops, looks like... What do you mean? I know it's hard with all that's gone on during this trial. Try to think back to what happened in the evidence room 4 days ago. Nothing to mention it. We did find something during yesterday's investigation. Something that proves Gant entered that room. Oh! I'm stupid. This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 7777777. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number. It's your number. What? How do you know that? Safe in Chief Gant's office requires code to open. 7-digit code. 7 digits. You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 7s. I did not. They were so good. I didn't know she did that. I loved that. I loved the picture. Yo, sir, thank you for the 34 months. AGDQ soon. Are you watching or attending? Let's go. They basically told you the answer. They're like, I know you've been doing this trial for a long time. Here you go. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. I love that. Love that, Nos. Order. Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Oh, look at him stressed. What's up, DeBest? Here we go. Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Chief Gant, so you admit it. You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime? What about it? I'm chief of police, whether it's the... Oops. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. You hadn't seen him in days, Chief Gant. I'm afraid you just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. Trial's purpose is to determine the truth! Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, and we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. It's either... can only be submitted to the Chief of Police. This. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the Chief of Police. Yet you are in possession of the report. Which means you can't be sure when he filed it. He filed it. How do you know, I asked? How do I know, you ask? Sorry, because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. Needed to. Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him. There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on. Let me guess what you're gonna say next. I, the Chief of Police, murdered poor Goodman. Exactly. Wait! The Chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes, now that you mention it, I could have... Sorry, but that's not possible. Because he couldn't have gotten into his locker. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. No. Look at that animation! Oh my god! You did it! The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright. The victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office's parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know. It was in your car, dude! Are you stupid? And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? No. Hey, you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time, I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space. I know, I have the clue. What's up, T? How you doing? Happy New Year. How could the chief move the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. Can't use this. Can't use random fucking screwdriver. It was super effective. This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. A screwdriver. It's flathead, whatever. What does that have to do with this case? Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is the screwdriver doing here? It's here because... Ah! I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. He told me he wanted to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbing, I brought this back here. Yep, and he brought it back just in time. Now we get to use the parking stub and all of that stuff. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office. You did, because Chief Gant asked you to. I mean, the body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. Oh my god! Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Yes. Unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Skye. Order. What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? I can say words. Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It's a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gant, please say something. I believe... Time's up. My time's up. Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're going to make it in time for the early bird special. Excuse you, but the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons. Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? This is not a right to be casually invoked. There's certain risks to be considered. So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, you think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright. Look at this photograph! Your Honor? Do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye to dispose of his body. I'm going to say it again. Hang on. Come on, get up here! Do I have any concrete proof? I have my attorney's badge. Save's coming. These are Marshall's fingerprints. All that blood, maybe? I don't think I do have any evidence. I'm just gonna say I have no proof yet. It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. Am I gonna get a game over for this? See, Haji? In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Righto. Well, seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Haji, I'll leave the rest to you. He left. Okay. It's probably over. And then she's gonna be found guilty, and then I game over? Come here first. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer and our nation's law enforcement agency. Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. You haven't yet had the honor of hearing your testimony. Lady who knows the truth. Another witness. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method is proof of testimony. Chief Gann has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else, one more witness, who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling the witnesses today. We're gonna bring in the honest guy! You may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth... Defendant. Lana Sky. She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 on February 21st. Her task, to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth. Prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. I mean, they'll both be fired. She's still an accomplice to murder, I guess. Very well, the court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in... Hold on, huh? Chief Gann, I thought you were getting to eat. Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. Stop threatening everybody! That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. Ugh, those are good. Of course, you never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. All right, then. I've got a lunch date to meet. Fucking dick. Isn't that also legal? Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth. Chief! Here's something else, eh, pals? Detective Gumshoe. I'm not a detective anymore. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Ah, don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. That's your office. My office. Sure, I'll take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with. But he mean... Maya. Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief can't stun it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand? It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify. Settle down, right? Remember what the judge said. That is not a right to be casually invoked. There's certain risks to be considered. Risks? What did he mean by that? It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? Who says that? Oh. Hi, are you okay? Emma, oh, Emma, are you okay? Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery. So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved? Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. I think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man! And she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? Follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. Force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do. That must be why she became so cold. It was all my fault. It was all because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. You want to blame anyone? Blame society, pal. Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor. I see. Oh, we better get back. It's time for the final act. Emma, why don't you wait? No! I'm going with you. I want to be there. And Lana tells the truth. Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this. To be continued! Oh, God. Okay. 1 more hour. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. If that was 1 hour, this should be the next. We're finishing this game today. And then tomorrow we'll do something else after Paper Mario. And then Saturday we're going to start the second game, and we're going to have a special guest on who's going to help read some of the voice lines, and that's going to be really fun. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Ooh. Who's a guest? My good old friend Kai Bear. We're both looking into getting into voice acting, so we're going to practice together. You all can dictate to us what you think the voices should be like realistically. So we have like real practice, and then like what you imagine these characters to sound like, and then we're gonna read together. It's gonna be fun. It is gonna be fun. Yeah, because there's a lot of voices like this that I can't freaking read, and he has like a really deep growly voice. It's like smooth, like dark coffee, you know, that kind of thing. But at the same time, it'll be good for him to practice other inflections, variations, things like that. So it's not always in the same vein. Because I haven't heard as much of his, like, I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Okay. Will the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, please take the stand? Girl, are you gonna work with us for once or not? Miss Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath. You want to hear the truth. Of course. The truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. Gant in the fabrication. I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. Are you kidding? You're fucking lying? I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago, all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Everybody already knows everything! Why are you still lying? Oh my god, she's so annoying. She's so annoying. Oh my god. Are you sure about this testimony? Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana! If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. What if she's telling the truth? She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. God, this is so annoying! Yo, Jiggy, thank you for the raid! What's up? How's it going? Welcome, everybody, to the stream. Hello, hello. What were you doing today for stream? Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm Fu. Playing Ace Attorney. This is my first time playing through these games. We're almost at the end of this trial. It's taking forever. We're going to start the second game on Saturday. It's going to be really fun. And I'm also working through Paper Mario the Origami King. And next weekend, I'll be heading off to AGDQ 2024 in Pittsburgh. It's going to be fun. Zelda's Adventure. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Good for you. All right. Cross-examination time. This girl sucks. She sucks. She's so annoying. Everybody already knows everything. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. You're lying. But think about it, Miss Sky. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail. You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And it's a game. You're right. Did you do so to help your sister? Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Lana, so that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago. What? I don't get it. That's what the fuck? You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change the statement. You mean, Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that. That is so. What happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies. All just to protect me. When you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, then moved the body. You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the victim's wound, and then you moved the body. But why? Why would you do that? You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of others. Why did you move the body? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body. The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. The jar, you mean? Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. So, when you first found the body, the jar was all ready. Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead, and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle. No. What's the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. I have a feeling there's more to it than that. There must be a contradiction in here somewhere. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. You're such a fucking stop! So you rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period. Are you so desperate to hide that fact? You're willing to risk the death sentence? She's lying. She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's lying! Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself. There's no way she could have done it alone! Gotta get Lana to talk more. She's lying that she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. Oh my god, I worked alongside Gant for years. We didn't do this one. How many years exactly? Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see. I was 24 then. So that would be 5 years. Detective Gant and Detective Sky were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases. Okay. I don't know where it wants me to do it. I'm just gonna go all the way through. Fabricated the evidence the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife planted inside it. Wait, hang on. Let's do this as well. Why did you plant the knife? I did. Why did you move the body? Listen. Well, why did you do that? I don't know, Mr. Wright. Even you should be able to figure it out. Very well, let's add this to the witness's testimony. The reason Miss Sky fabricated the knife. I knew the tip of the weapon found buried in the body would be all the proof we needed. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with it. There's too many things I could do. Fabricated the evidence all by myself. Broke off the tip of the knife, planted it inside the wound, and then moved the body. Near the tip of the weapon found buried in his body would be all the proof we needed. Had nothing to do with Emma. I don't know, I could try this. It's probably not gonna work. No, this doesn't work. Okay, so I have to do it where I fabricated it all by myself. It's gotta be here. It's gotta be here. Yeah, that they're teaming up. I know, right? God damn it! Damn it! I must be on the wrong track. Nope. Did you do so to help your sister? To darkest serial killer. She did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. That's not the point. She was traumatized all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Chat, question for you. Yes or no? Yes or no? Is this the sentence I'm supposed to contradict? Yes or no only? Great. Okay. Didn't I try this already? Try this already. Wait, it isn't? Yeah, that's really confusing. That's really confusing. Because it literally says... let's just do this. Let's just go back. Okay, so it literally says... At the end... She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself. So I thought that that would be the line I'd have to contradict. Fuck. No way she could have done it alone. I've got to get her to talk more. She's lying. She's about to slip up in the country. I don't fucking know. Is this the... Is this the one I need to contradict? I don't know what they want from me. This is not it either? How about this one? This one? This one? I don't know. There's so many pieces of evidence I could try. There's so many different pieces here. No? What? Do I have the thing that I need? Do I have the chat, do I have the statement from her that I need to contradict in the testimony? Yes, no. I don't even have it. Ugh. to do this all over again. This is so annoying. Just gonna speed through. I just don't even care. I don't care. I don't care. Girl, you're so fucking annoying. You're so annoying. I've seen it, but it's not currently in. What do you mean? What? Oh my god. I know. Just send her to fucking jail. Just send her to jail. I've seen all of this. What have I fucking missed? Why did you move the body? It's one or the other, not both. Oh, she only adds one at a time? What the fuck? The piece of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. Pieces of the jar, you mean? Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier, and an expedient to move the body. So when you first found the body, the jar was already, of course, been shattered. Doesn't matter. Apparently, the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. I have a feeling there's more to it than that. There must be a contradiction in there somewhere. Swaps her statements in and out. That's so annoying. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. It's fine. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to look into it. Whatever, game. Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. I mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered. If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I'm compelled to bring everyone's attention to a significant contradiction with your testimony. Contradiction in my testimony. You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan." That's right. Do you have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not have been broken. It must not yet have been broken before he died. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. Order. Alright, okay. If more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical. Chief Prosecutor. Seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. Piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well, the witness may now continue her testimony. The jar and message in the blood. Okay. Immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. Yeah, they were discovered though. One piece was not wiped. She's doing everything she can to piss us off. I'm so done with her. I'm so done with her. What's up, Tobbs? You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well, the defense, okay, blah, blah, blah. I mean, immediately noticed the blood traces, but it was dark and I didn't have to check it out. To be safe, I wiped it below. Large, so I'm sure I got them all. No, you didn't. You're a liar. I'm gonna show you right now. No, you didn't. Let's use the same piece of evidence again. Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe. In the chief's safe? But how? I knew it! She really didn't know. Something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified. She gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you. Oh, shit! Couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? No! I'm afraid that's unlikely. Pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Ha, can you believe that? Go chill in your room. Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that. There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. If you're not implying this person was Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides... The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? No! Like how everybody just ends up yelling once they've been cornered. Most competent judge. So good, so good. Wait, I'm not the one on trial here. Damon Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposefully hid one of the broken pieces. Question. What is this action called? Fabrication of evidence. But why would Chief Gant do that? In light of what happened afterwards. Isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? Discovering the scene, Lana Sky believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped to create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Sky became the Chief's puppet. No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the Chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client. I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth. What? Wait a minute. Let's kick this judge out as well. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? Emma didn't actually push him. He was stabbed with, I mean, Gant killed him first. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana may be right after all. What do you mean, right? So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright? Miss Sky, please testify once more. But evidence was fabricated behind your back, and Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Miss Sky, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. Cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will if you tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw. She's like, oh shit, she might not be actually bad? Okay. She might not have done it? Alright, cool. Now I'll tell the truth. Alright, for the final time. Tell the truth or shut the fuck up and go away, please. Oh my god, I hate you. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor sword. So that was probably Gant. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent! Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor's sword. You were the only one who saw that. Only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. What, to me? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright? She really does have faith in you. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. I don't remember receiving any picture from Lana. Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right? I seem to remember getting something from her then. Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. Alright. There it is. Hey, there's a picture here. Look at this photograph! Oh. Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this, because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything. Mr. Wright! A piece cut out from his vest. Could that be? Yeah, that's a Gant had cut out. The cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe. This is a handprint, isn't it? Yep. The cloth. It had fingerprints on it. Whatever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer. What? Those fingerprints are yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Actual crime scene. This is a... How did you enjoy the worst puzzle of the whole trilogy? This one? I thought people said they liked this one. Did you all like this one? This one's it's a lot. This girl is like pretty insufferable. She's hot. She's... You can't come back! You're not allowed to come back. You're not allowed to come back, dude. You gave up your rights. No, Audrey, this is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gant. What, now you want to make me out as a bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. No, you can't. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. Your fault. Ah, so what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't. But someone does. Someone. So, what's your excuse, Righto? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as a murderer. That's right. If you have any evidence, please present it. Oh, present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiry. What do I do now? I don't fucking know. Trial Ladder 2. Well, I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed... I think I have to. I don't want to hide the evidence. We're gonna have to do something around it. Yes, Your Honor. I do have further evidence. All right, the time's finally come to show it to them. Friends have got to be the chiefs. They're not. I may have fucked myself. It's okay. We're gonna see. Now let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence just shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. It's a piece of leather cloth? Yes. It most likely was cut from the victim's vest near his chest. What's this? There's a big handprint on it. Surely it must have been left on the cloth by whoever shoved the victim into the sword. Fingerprints are on this. I'm sure Wright was checked, haven't you? Well, whose are they? They're Miss Skies. Miss Emma Skies. What? They're mine? So I really did do it. See? I told you it was conclusive. But this was found in your safe. That means it's possible you forged it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember any cloth in my safe. You really expect me to believe that? But... Give it up, Mr. Wright. It's over. You shouldn't have presented that. By presenting that evidence, you tied Emma Sky to Neil Marshall's death. Oh, game over? Here's we have our killer. No. Oh, okay. Game over, I guess. No! Okay. Everything hinged on that. In the end, Lana was all blah, blah, blah. Okay. Guilty! Cool. I fucked up. It's alright. Go back. Oh my god, it goes all the way back. I would have told you that this was an automatic game over, but you didn't ask. Yeah, I didn't ask. Because I was just playing the game. I wasn't, like, out of options or anything. That's okay. I didn't ask for a reason. This is why I save a lot. This is why I save a lot. See? What do I do now? I go right back. Cannot show evidence. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? Lie! You can't. You opened my safe! I know you took what was inside. Oh, so this calls out the conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know his fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? Looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? But that means you, the Chief of Police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. So he kind of outed himself. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as a murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean you admit to it? You're not allowed to testify. You can't testify. You can't testify? You're not allowed to testify. I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. Then it occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So you really were manipulating her? I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister. And when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid. So you assisted Miss Sky. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body, move the body across the room. And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I had 2 pieces of evidence. This is before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence. You mean those items in your safe? Why? For insurance, of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See the star fragment?
I had the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. Oh my god. What if you fabricated all the evidence? What's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar, too? Ho ho ho! Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean a piece of cloth? Come on, Righto, cough it up already. I know you have it.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright?
So you admit to it then, Chief Gant. That you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that being Chief, no. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself?
Save again.
Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Righto! You should have shown it then before it was too late. In a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine.
Oh my god, I might game over again. I'm gonna show it! I'm gonna show it! I'm not gonna show it! Game over!
No, it's too late to show the evidence now. Besides, even if I did, I'd just expose that poor girl's fingerprints. Right. Think hard over the circumstances. Circumstances. Talking about then and now. There's one major difference between the two. Weren't you waiting for that difference? Edward figured out my plan! Okay, cool. How many times have I game overed in this case? Just the once? I also saved scum. -4 was Wright's case, yeah? Okay, Edgeworth told me to. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh yes, at last you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. It must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. I mean, it could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Ho ho ho! You're as slow as the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Righto had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that.
Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Yep. Sure do. Must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well. I'll tell you. Should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. Emma Sky.
What? You're mine?
Sorry, Emma. But why?
Why didn't you tell me?
Oh, ho, ho, ho! You're really something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me. So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death.
How could you? You monster!
The Sky.
You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't.
Miss Sky, it's not over yet.
What?
I said this trial isn't over yet. Can it be over, please? Ha! But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career, too. Purposely concealed this evidence. This conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. Piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Skye, wasn't it? Nope. I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? Contradiction? What is this fool blabbing about? Talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is. How did you know where she pushed him, maybe? Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth, what could it possibly contradict? Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here, save. Behold, the evidence, piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. I didn't mean to do that! Oh, it's fun watching you squirm, Righto. I didn't mean to do that. Piece of evidence does indeed seem to contradict something. Your outward I didn't mean to do that. Wait, I legitimately didn't mean to do that. I'm just gonna reload it because I tried to press A. Oh my god, okay. I don't fucking know. This is so much evidence. I don't know. Let's use the picture we just got. Nope, it's not that. Exactly as it's supposed to be. This is the picture Miss Skye took. Take a good look. See where the piece of cloth, the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes, his shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. It's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, so blood would have been on the vest. Oh! Oh, but that piece of cloth has no blood on it. Wait, there's no blood on it. Since Emma Skye's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. So, tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Skye? Picked up the unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armored sword. Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue and make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating this insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. Look at that reaction. It's finally all over. Is this enough? Is this conclusive enough, though? Is it Lana? No. He's objecting. Oh, that was close, Righto. You almost had me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? See that piece of cloth? It's illegal evidence. Order. What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Udgy? Earlier, old Wright here concealed that piece of cloth. Well, it's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. That's not fair. Oh, do you actually think you could best me in court? Looks like the last laugh's on you, son. Lana's gonna come up and testify, right? I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright? It seems at last. Time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, do you admit to it that you purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth? Whoa, what do you mean? I don't know. Why you, I don't know what his plan is. I haven't thought it through. Whatever, I did it. No, if I admit to that, all my planning will have been for nothing. I admit I refuse to what? Present so the evidence is legal. No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved in presenting evidence. No, Edgy, don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't really believe... There's only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well, let us settle on this once and for all. You refuse to refuse if you cannot prove your conduct. If you can prove your conduct is not in violation of the law, then do so now. Because it wasn't relevant to the case on trial. Probably. Try that. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this is merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself inside your safe. It goes without saying I did not have approval from the police department. Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented. Oh, we got both! That's funny. Must be presented, must be relevant to the case of trial. And here's the crux of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL-9 incident. Excuse me. What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall when that picture was presented? It was shown only a few moments ago. No, he's right. At the beginning of today's trial, a piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. Your Honor, shut the fuck up! You weren't even there. What's up, Rose Garden? Oh, seriously, dude, the judge is the worst. The judge is one of my least favorite characters in this game. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out the piece of this victim's vest. Oh, yes. No! It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest was the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer. There's only one person who that could be. When it was proven relevant, so karmic. Damon Gant, the killer was you! Oh, okay, laugh. Oh god, oh god, oh my god. Alright. Are you gonna pass out? They always pass out. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum! 2 years he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. Wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman. Yeah, that's right. The evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you've got to help. Yeah, can I get that $50? Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room, and all of a sudden he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said, "It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall." Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL-9. That's when I saw it, that accursed knife. Couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't even know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it out. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake. A bloody handprint. A bloody handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker. It used to be known as the crime computer. But everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car. I'm sorry. I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. He's being like, okay, he's admitting all of it. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. Leaving the prosecution's car aside, how? How could you get Miss Sky involved in all of this? Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker? I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. So, you left the jar fragments and the glove. Yeah. Looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy. Why do you stand in court? Me. You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go at it alone. Oh, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Udgy. What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, Damon Gant. I knew you as you used to be, long ago. You were once a fine investigator, and an example to others on the force. Sorry to learn that you were no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Udgy. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Righto here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of a new... What? A new what? Oh, whoops. Oh my god, Azazel. There are two things I want you to understand. Yes? First, you fucking suck and you are so annoying. Oh, I'm sorry. Also, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gant help me forge evidence up until today. So, seems that all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. Sorry, Miss Sky. Couldn't get you out of all your trouble. My. What's high standards you have for a rookie? I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, you just might make it to the top. See, she's so pretty, but she's so fucking annoying! I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Sky. And you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Liar. I was worried the pressure might break you, and yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it! I only did my job. In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Sky. Yes, Your Honor. You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. Trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes, I understand, Your Honor. Is there something amusing about all this? Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains. If only you were like this. All right. Well, this trial's gone on far too long already! You say it here! Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty. Beautiful. Woohoo! Yeah, we can do that too! We can do that too! Apparently okay. Apparently the thing did not work. Okie dokie. Where is it? Oh fuck, where's the confetti? I don't even know where it is. Oh god!
Wonderful.
Confetti. Here we go. I found it. I found it. I found it. Let's try again. Hey, guys! Okay, I got it. Gotta hit more trees, right? That's all. This court is adjourned. Okay. We did it! Oh, God, finally. At long last, it's finally over! You right? Emma? The game was good. This case was too long. Taking on the chief of police was interesting, but also, like, I just taken down other, like, heads of companies and, like, high-ranking positions, so I felt like this was... They were trying to just one-up the other cases in a way, and that felt like a little overkill to me. So yeah. Why the long face? I'm sorry, your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit. No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended. Thanks to me if I owe you my thanks. You too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've done well. You know, I did my best too, but Lana didn't say a single word to me. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later. No, stop. Detective Gumshoe. What is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run around, while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Oh, there it is. Ha ha! Nice. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding. Oh, are you here because of my sister again? Nope. Not this time. Came today because of you, pal. Me? That's right. Thought you'd like to see someone. Lana! Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't. Emma, I owe you an apology. okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day, 2 years ago, was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. Sis, I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake. But now I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through these past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. And hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. Sis. I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. Now you have. Oh, Emma. Emma! Emma! Oh, good. Look, a hugging picture. Nice. No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in doing so, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. These kids need therapy. At least that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe. Me! Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Edgeworth? Stop hiding and come over here. Don't look so angry. Where was he hiding? I just came to say congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right. Well, I'll be going now. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth. Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. The same. I'll see it, do blah, 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 blah. He's literally hiding. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. Thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said, in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. It may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright, and because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that would otherwise have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is this, a pop quiz? Come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what Lana's talking about. Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own. I don't know. What? What do you mean? Evidence we wouldn't have been able to find on our own? This. That's the picture I drew. Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other. apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time for me to go. Mr. Edgeworth! If you'll excuse me, there's still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Ask him on a date! Ugh. Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember, you can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know. Seems like I owe you my thanks too, Wright? But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Very well. I'd better be going too. Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific investigation. It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis. I will. You mean for the marriage? Marriage. And so another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. Begun? You can stop trying to lock up innocent people, Edgeworth. That'd be real hot. And as for me, I think it's time I started a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. They saved the best for last. It's your boy. Well, don't go tricking off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. But I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. Huh? Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Huh? Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side. Yeah, well, you see, this right here's the one who'll be footing the bill. Huh? Huh? What, you think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal. Uh-huh. Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best. Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream? Yeah, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together? Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go. Objection. Cute. I arranged for a friend of mine to take care of Emma in Europe. I hope she'll be pleased to study under a top corner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Yes, you're gonna be in jail. Still, I'll manage to find my way back to the field somehow. Then I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. Yeah, would they let somebody who's been convicted go back to this job? Probably not. Oh, let me put my hair up. It's being annoying. Oh, we did it. Nice. Thought I was on her for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalize you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. Just goes to show. You can't shake me off that easily. We're gonna do the next 2 games and then see if we want to do more. Well, I could pay by fucking paying us for representing her. Yes, I agree. She made a lot of money as a chief prosecutor. She should be able to pay us. Yeah. My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them, though. Someday I'm gonna make detective. Yes, sir! Then I can be just like that Dick Gumshoe! Ending crime once and for all. Gumshoe's okay. We're gonna end here tonight. I have a couple things I gotta do. And then we'll be doing more Paper Mario tomorrow. We're gonna take a day off from this game. We'll start the next, or not this game, but the trilogy, and we'll start the next one on Saturday. Oh no, it broke! No, Blue Badger! What is it? Can't you see him having me a showdown with the steak lunch partner? The star managed to sneak this into me. She's seen one of the guards, it seems. Well, cowboy, looks like you did it. Even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? Yeah. Oh my god, Jimbo. Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. A farewell gift. I put a new meal on the menu. The Right Way lunch. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer's as sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller around exam time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. Okay, thanks, cool. The knife and the outfit in prison. Oh, goodness. I'll never forget what the young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what's his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he's been doing something or other for how many years? Well, anyway, got another trial to get to, so I better be... Huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, I gotta go. Okay, bye. Oh boy. Miss Angel Star, innocent, yeah. I know, she seems super guilty.
Nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium.
Mystic Maya, afternoon training is about to begin.
Coming! Well, see you around, Nick.
I like that we get to see Maya for a second. That's cute.
Edgy.
Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth? I brought your tea. What's going on? We play more of this game. We'll play the second one because we just finished this one, Germs. The second one will start on Saturday. I hope we see Maya in the second game too, but I don't know what's gonna happen. No, our husband is missing.
Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be all right. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book.
She put like 3 pictures of herself in there, so, you know, I'm just gonna... Is there a picture of her? Yep, there's a picture of her. That's cute. Yeah, nobody actually say anything. We'll see. Cute. We did it! Ugh. Emma's cute. I like Maya better, but Emma's pretty cute. Okay. Thanks for the raid, but we are ending the stream now. We finally beat the game. Oh. Finally!
All right. Hell yeah. Alright, you all. I will see you tomorrow. We finally beat the first game with the DLC case. That took really long. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll be doing some more Origami King and maybe